So you've decided to give Diablo 2 Resurrected a try, but you don't know anything about Diablo 2 or you've never played a Diablo-esque game before. Well, I am here to help you out on your way to killing Diablo and beyond. These are just a few tips to get you started, but I will be releasing videos weekly with guides, tips, and tricks for you to elevate and become ready to take over the ladder once it starts. So do consider subscribing for more Diablo 2 content. Let's get started. Number 1. Take build guides that you see online with a grain of salt. There are a few reasons for this. One of the main reasons is that a lot of the guides that you see online are assuming that you're able to get the top tier items easily. Which of course, even at this point in the game, it's very hard to get these things. Even if you have friends that have been playing for a while, a lot of them just have mid-tier items. Now there are a few guides out there that do take you from beginner to that point, but they are few and far between. Another reason I would say to not really care about guides is because on your first couple of playthroughs, you should probably just play through the game just normally. Not only is it fun, but it's going to actually teach you some of the in-game mechanics, and you're also going to make some friends along the way, especially on Battle.net. The community in Diablo 2 is very strong, and they love to help each other and have a good time. Number 2. When you're making your character, there's a few stats to look out for. Resistances is probably the most important. Vitality is second because that is your HP. Then you could finally look out for max block or faster hit recovery. The reason why these stats are pretty important is because I find that Diablo 2 is a game about survivability. As long as you could tank hits or evade enemies, you're going to be able to kill them in the end. It may take a bit longer obviously if you don't have the damage, but you will get them, trust me. Number 3. When you're making your characters, pay attention to the synergies in the skill page. A lot of the skills actually get powered up by powering up other skills, which, for example, if you're using a sorceress, the fire skills are pretty tied together. Fireball is going to boost Meteor and etc. This is especially important on the early game before you're able to actually get good items. Synergies are going to help you boost your damage a lot. If you're not sure how to check synergies, just put your mouse over the skill, it's going to tell you at the bottom. And on that note, number 4. Plus skills, eventually as you get farther along in the game, become very important, as your synergies are only going to take you so far, and you're going to want to improve your killing speed to farm for items. Also keep in mind that casters such as sorceresses, caster druids, or necros, they need faster cast rate, aka FCR. And melee characters are going to need attack rating, well some of them I should say, need attack rating, and increased attack speed, aka IAS. Number 5. Kiting is very important in this game because, I don't know if you noticed, but Diablo 2 is actually tougher than most of these dungeon crawler games. Now kiting is a term that not everyone is familiar with. Basically what it means is you kind of keep them at a distance and you lead them into a line, kind of like a train, and then you just cast the heck out of them. Number 6. If you're having trouble with the game and you need to level up a bit more, the best way to get XP is to do runs. I'm going to get more into that in another video in the future, but in the early game you're going to want to do Tristram runs all the way up until level 15, Tomb runs all the way up until maybe level 24, and then you could go from there. You should be well off when it comes to normal at that point, but yeah, we're going to get to it in the future. Number 7. The best way to get items is to do boss runs. In Diablo 2, you could continuously kill bosses, you just have to make a new game. The most commonly run bosses is Andario, which is the Act 1 boss, Mephisto, which is Act 3, and Baal in Act 5. These bosses are quite easy to do as a sorceress once you get a bit set up, but if you're not able to, just do it with a party. Just have some sort of agreement, of course, when it comes to the items. And number 8 is a very important tip, especially when you're first starting. Get a better belt ASAP, and buy a lot of potions. Don't be scared to spend a lot of money on potions because especially early on, you're going to take hits and they are going to hit hard. Especially if enemies are able to poison you. Poison, in normal at least, it drains your health so fast and it takes a while to actually go away. So definitely, before you go on a tough quest, fill up on potions. Number 9. Consider playing in a party. Not only is it a lot of fun, it's better for XP and drops. And don't be wary, a lot of your friends might not have this game, but you'll find a lot of friends on Battle.net. The community is pretty tight, and everyone enjoys helping each other, for the most part. Number 10. Once you start getting further in the game, consider your build and how you want to allocate your points and stats. You do get to respec as I mentioned earlier, but by default you only get 3 respecs, so use them carefully. There is a way to get more after, but again, we'll go into that in another video. Number 11. Get all the waypoints and complete the quests. Not only are the quests very handy when it comes to, well, completing the game, you also get a lot of rewards for them. Certain quests give you like resistances, skill points, etc. So definitely get them done. And then the waypoints, they're just handy to have in general, especially if you want to farm the game and get more items later. And of course, waypoints help you help out your friends, so that's always good. Number 12. Early on in the ladder, it's probably your best interest to do some Andario and Countess runs. Not only are they pretty easy, but you could actually get a lot of good drops for them. Just an FYI, the Sorceress is the best character to actually deal with these two. The Meteor or Blizzard Sorceress in particular. But again, save that for a future video. Number 13. It's funny that we brought up the Countess because she's a good source for this. But save any gems and runes that you get along the way, especially the runes. Gems you could use early on for cube recipes or just boosting your items that have sockets. Runes, well, we'll get into that further on this list, but definitely save them, you're going to want to. Number 14. Get a mercenary, especially if you're going to play alone. My preference is the Act 2 mercenaries because they give you like paladin auras, which are very handy. Even in a party, it's really handy. Like if you have, I think it's one of the offensive mercs, they are going to give you the might aura, which boosts everyone in your party. It gives them increased damage. I find the other mercenaries, while they are decent, they don't hold up to the Act 2 ones, so definitely consider getting one as soon as you can. Number 15. Open a town portal before any dangerous area or boss. That way, if you get wiped, you have a way to get back real quick and just kite the enemies away from your dead body so you can get it back. Number 16. Do not kill the Cow King. Once you kill the Cow King, spoilers, you can't get back into the cow level for that difficulty. So please be careful when you're going into the cow level. And also on that note, if you do want to kill the Cow King, do it in your own game. Don't do it with other people because it's going to ruin it for them as well. Number 17. Use your stash. There's so much stash space in this version of the game compared to the original. There's no reason you shouldn't stash some decent items for your other characters. It's a good way of working on another character at the same time. Number 18. Beware of unsafe town portals. This happens a lot, especially in public games. Always ask if a town portal is safe, otherwise you might go in and just get insta-killed because they use the town portal to just run away from dangerous enemies. If it's a quest or something like that, just ask which town portal or which TP. And as I alluded to earlier in the video, number 19. Rune Words are great. Now if you're not familiar with what a rune word is, basically it's a combination of runes that you can insert into an armor or a weapon to make kind of like a super weapon or armor. It's hard to explain without actually showing you, but it gives you a whole bunch of skills, bonuses, etc., depending on the combination you use, and also the base that you use. We're going to get into that in the future as well, of course. Number 20. Unique and set items aren't always good. Do not just use an item because it is unique or set item. Use it because it's better than your previous item. There are a lot of trash tier unique or set items that you're better off using like a rare or a magic item even. And then you never know. You might be able to trade that bad unique or set item for something decent that you might need in the future, or even for runes or gems. So keep that in mind. Always trade. I guess that's a little bonus number 21 for you there. Trading is key. And that is all for now. If you have any tips that you want to share that I missed, or you just want to share with your fellow Diablo 2 players, leave them in the comments. Also, like the video if you enjoyed this. I will definitely be bringing out more, probably weekly. So stay tuned for that. And always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.